All right, hey, what's up, YouTube? So we got work tonight. Yay! First time this week, and it's Tuesday night, so it's my Wednesday, and it's my first night of having work. But I got something in the mail, so I wanted to open it up and show you guys what I got. It's not anything free. I paid for this, but it's something for the truck, so I thought you guys would be interested. All right, let's take a look at it. All right, so we got this box, came in from Rainey's Chrome Shop, Rainey's, I think Rainey's.com. I'm watching Life Behind the Wheel. It's a pretty rad black and chrome Peterbilt he's got. He runs a reefer box around. I think he's from Florida, but yeah, I like his setup he's got. He's got a cool channel. All right, Lucy, do you want to do the honors? Open it up for us. Let's see what we got.
Yeah.
Watch out for that knife, baby girl. Don't cut towards your hand. Always cut away from your body. You don't put any part of your body. No, just the ones on the side right there.
Oh, okay.
All right, that should do it. Should do it good enough. Let's see what we got. Okay, I thought I knew what this was based on the size of the box, but now I'm thinking it might be the other thing I got. Yeah, it is. All right. Let's see, everybody. And boom. So it's a license plate holder. So this way I don't put any holes in the bumper, since it's a blind mount bumper with no holes, no nothing. So we'll put these on the bottom. See this? The guy told me it would work. But I don't have this thick of a bumper. I got a rolled edge bumper, so I don't know. He might have to modify it a little bit to get it to work. But anyway, I think this is our first actual real chrome piece to put on the truck that I've ordered myself that now we have. So Lincoln Chrome. All right. Got myself my license plate holder. Cool. All right, we're going to have a little more family time. Then I'm going to head out to work once the sun goes down. We're going to start a little later today. We got a late appointment tomorrow to deliver. So I'll catch up with you guys in a little while. All right, so we got a 2-camera setup right now, guys. 2-camera setup. I was kind of yelling just now. Probably clipped out the microphone, but that's okay. I don't have my regular microphone. In fact, there we go. If I put it up like that, you guys can hear me a little better. But anyway, we got the new camera. I'm gonna try this head-mounted thing. My wife says it makes her sick, so I won't do too much of it. I'll switch back and forth between the dash and what's going on up here on the head. And yeah, we'll try and keep it from making my wife sick, because I don't want a sick wife. What's that? I actually ordered a microphone, a Joby microphone, or I bought one, I should say. I didn't order it. I bought it from Best Buy, but I didn't get the correct adapter when I ordered it on Amazon. I got an adapter that goes to a mini USB instead of a Type-C USB. So we don't have the Joby microphone, kind of the shotgun microphone with a little dead cat on it. So we are, yeah, we're just going to roll with the old Bluetooth to the phone for our audio. But I still wanted to get some of this footage on the top of the head tonight. See how this turns out, because I don't know how often I look at my mirrors, but I'll try and do it just with my eyes for the sake of my wife. See if I don't crash tonight. Trying not to shake the camera around on my head too much, but nevertheless, yeah. So I briefly talked about the trip that I'm hoping to go on this summer with Miles. I have
a tentative plan in place to have my authority started and to get myself interstate capabilities by this summer. And at that time, I would like to take a trip out. And yeah, my son wants to get out of California almost as bad as I do, and so he's looking to go to college at a number of different places. He really is a big football fan, as am I. Um, Apple didn't fall too far from the tree on that one, and so he wants to go to a football school. So those are all big schools, public universities for the most part. There's a few privates that mixed in there that he wouldn't mind going to. So we're gonna take a trip, and he's just gonna go to work with me, and we're gonna be in that little tiny sleeper for like 3 or 4 weeks. We're gonna have to stop and yeah, get some hotel rooms, and definitely gonna stop in with my in-laws. They're out in Tennessee, so we'll be out there. So yeah, so I figured I'd tell you guys a little bit about what we're planning. So the first leg of the journey is going to be that trip just straight out to Tennessee. Um, so we want to get a load that goes, from California and heads out that direction. And when we head out there, we'll just look for something that picks up on a Monday, delivers on a Friday out there, something that we can make that little trek across the country and make an easy delivery on a Friday morning, and then call it a weekend. Um, Go to my in-laws' house for the weekend. They live in Murfreesboro, so they're just south of Nashville, and we'll go. We'll hang out with them for the weekend, kind of check out, see what Tennessee's like, and then my son wants to check out Vanderbilt, which basically he said if he gets in, he's going. There's no, it's such a good school. And he's an excellent student. Excellent student. We'll see if if that's a school he would be able to get into. And then he also wants to check out Belmont right there in Nashville as well. So those schools are like next door to each other. So we're gonna go over there and check those schools out, and then we're gonna go from there. And this is his list, not mine. And so I'm just we're gonna a little bit have to follow the loads, but a little bit I'm gonna be trying to force the loads to fit what where he wants to go. And so we're going to go from there. He wants to check out Georgia, UGA, the Bulldogs. So obviously that's the first football school. Those other two in Nashville, I don't think Belmont even has a program, but yeah, Vanderbilt not known for their football program. So I told you he wanted to go to some football schools, and I told you Vanderbilt and Belmont. You guys were probably like, "Oh, Nick doesn't know a thing about college football," but no, it gets better after that. All right, so down to Georgia, UGA, and he likes he'd like to check that one out down in Athens. So obviously, I'd like to get a load from Nashville down to Atlanta, which seems like a pretty doable day trip. And pick one up one morning, deliver it the next morning, or maybe even a straight through, and give us some time the next day to park at a truck stop and try and Uber over to the campus or take a bus or whatever we're going to do. So anyway, I better speed this up. So then from Georgia, we want to go up to Columbia, South Carolina, check out University of South Carolina. We also want to check out Clemson, of course, which is actually in a really, really cool area, small town. So that's kind of cool. And then from there, he wants to check out Duke, which is another school that's like, that's super hard to get into, like crazy hard to get into. So if he got into that school, he'd go just based on the academic part of it. Wants to check that out. Trying to remember where the next school was. I know he didn't want to check out. Maybe he did want to check out North Carolina. I'm not positive. Oh man, I'm messing this one up. Maybe North Carolina. But then the next one is Blacksburg, Virginia Tech. They have a good football tradition, though they haven't been good in quite a while. Um, but yeah, then from there we start heading back west, and it kind of goes up to, I forget how it was going to work out, but I think it's going to work out like Notre Dame, some combination of Notre Dame, Michigan, uh, Indiana. I'm missing one that's up. Oh, Wisconsin, up in Madison, Wisconsin. And so there's kind of a wide variety of places, and so we're gonna try and hit all of those in a 3 or 4 week period, and obviously that would be the most convenient mileage wise to keep my mileage down, because I do have some mileage limitations because of this voucher program that I'm participating in for the state of California to take my old polluting truck off the road. They're giving me down payment money for the brand new Peterbilt, which I'm not going to use for the thumbnail on this video, although I want to. But yeah, we'll save the thumbnail, the 389 thumbnails for when the truck's done. We're gonna keep it under wraps for the next couple weeks until we can really show it out there in all its beauty and all of its glory. But anyway, I do have mileage limitations, so we're gonna have to figure out how we're gonna go about all that. So yeah, and then probably come back along I-80. I asked him if he wanted to check out, Utah or Colorado, University of Colorado, anything like that, and he kind of was just like, nah. Sounds like he's pretty dead set on somewhere in the Midwest or the South, which is probably a smart move considering the cost of living, and a lot of times where you go to school is kind of where you end up, meeting your wife, and where you end up settling for a lot of people. So not a bad idea to be thinking about that at such a young age, and think about, I know he's even looked at, what people in the fields that he's interested in. He hasn't narrowed it down all the way to one major or one career path that he wants to choose, but for the careers he's interested in, he's kind of looked at where the top salaries are compared to the cost of living. So he's doing his homework. He's been thinking about this for like 4 years or something like that. He's kind of a college nerd. He's kind of a geek when it comes to researching universities, and it's probably why we have such a long list of schools to go check out. And there's more that he would like to stop and see. But I told him, like, dude, just make your top 10 list, and then we might only be able to get to 5 of them. So we're gonna have to figure it out as we go a little bit. But anyway, that's the tentative plan. So all right, I gotta stop jibber jabbering, jaw jacking. I'm gonna head over here. We got one load to Stockton, and then we've got a load down to Helm. And yeah, we'll rock and roll these roads. When I'm headed back in the morning, we should have some sunlight. So unless I see something interesting or come up with some amazing idea of something else to talk about, you probably won't see me until the sun is up, and I'll be checking out my new camera, trying to get some good footage, probably off the dash or something like that. I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll see what's gonna happen. I got some tools in my tool belt. I got a little case over here. I brought some of my daughter's GoPro accessories, and can use those as they fit on the kind of action cam mount on the bottom of the case I have for the camera. So anyway, it should work, and so we'll see what we can do. We'll play around with this thing a little bit, but I'll see you guys when it's nice and bright out. I mean, that's like so long from now, but for you guys, it'll be like now.
All right, so what's up, everybody? Super cool pro tip for everybody. Whenever you have a 7 o'clock appointment time, or really here, it's just that they open at 7 and I can't get here any earlier, always show up early, because you never know when the guy with the key is going to just show up about an hour early, and you're going to get to offload. Look at that. That beautiful sunrise. Man. Pretty awesome stuff. This is my favorite customer to unload at. Just out here in the middle of the country. out here watching the sunrise. Every time I unload here, it's right around sunrise, and it's relaxing out here. You get out of that rat race. When you got 3 loads going in and out of the Bay Area 3 times in one night, you end up running into a lot of other guys. Out here we got the birds chirping. I feel like a nature channel right now. But yeah, so we're gonna finish getting this offloaded, and I'll talk to you guys when we get on the road, and when the sun finishes coming all the way up, then we'll have a little more light and we can talk, because I like to talk. All right, what's up? We're trying this little 2-camera thing again. Let's see how this works. And I don't got the blue Parrots. I got the Beats by Dre, old, raggedy, don't have good noise canceling, so you probably hear a lot of rattling going on, but you know what? I just don't care. I just don't care. I don't want to have the blue Parrot, the big old blue Parrot, looking like a super trucker. You know, they're good. They're functional. They work exactly how you want them to work when you're talking on the phone for hours at a time. Comfortable on your head, all that good stuff. But I don't want to look like that on camera all the time, you know? I want to look cool. Oh, what's up, Dave McCarter? Sorry, one of the other drivers is going to deliver down there. And he's probably looking at me going, how did he get out of there so quick? What's going on? Because we got out early. So I was going to actually, I was thinking about talking, before I spent too long talking about miles, I was going to talk about this silly load. Not so much the customer. Like I said, this customer is my favorite customer, but the refinery that you go to pick it up is ConocoPhillips in Rodeo, California, which is right there, right next to all the other ones. But yeah, they have the silliest setup. So you pull into the driveway, and then you park your truck, you get out of your truck, you walk past the security shack to the security booth. And you gotta bring your TWIC card, your license, and you gotta fill out this sheet, this handwritten form that says what load number you're picking up, your name, your license plate numbers, your phone number, what product you're picking up, your truck number, your trailer number, all that stuff. So you fill all that out, you slide that under the little window thing, and when it's windy, you know, you're like sitting there trying to put it under, and you're like, can you get it? Can you hold on? It's stupid. Anyway, so that takes about, and they've got to rewrite everything that you wrote down on this form that they have, and they handwrite it, and they've got to write neatly so that it's legible. So they're taking their time, and they're writing down the trucking company, your name, your driver's license number, your license plate number, what you're picking up, what your load number is, what your phone number is, all that stuff. Now they're rewriting all that stuff out. You just wrote it down. Now they're taking that sheet of paper and they're writing it all down on their sheet of paper. So then you get a day pass. You get a little laminated sheet that says a number on it, and then you get a badge that has a different number on it. One's for the vehicle, one's for me. Now, mind you, I don't ever get more than like 10 feet away from my vehicle, but somehow I need a badge and the truck needs a badge or a pass. So then you go back out to your truck, you get in your truck, then the guard shack that you walked by twice, you now pull up to that, and the same person that was inside the booth that just wrote down all your information, you have to show them the badge that they just gave you inside. You got to show it to them so they can write down the number on their log sheet out in the little shack out here, the guard shack. And you've got to show them your TWIC card again. They just saw it, and they got to see it again. So you drive in. Once they clear you, you go in, you pull onto the scale. but there's nobody in the scale house. You're like, all right, I guess nobody's in the scale house. Well, at night they don't have anyone in the scale house. But for sulfur, the loads that we get, we got to pick them up. Most of the loads have to be picked up at night. That's just the way that sulfur works. The customers always want their loads early. That's just how it is. So it's a load that we actually have to pick up at night, but they don't have anyone in the scale house. So what they have to do is they have to borrow someone who has like a regular job that they do they call it the marine terminal, where they actually dock the big ships that carry oil, the oil tankers. And so this guy, if he's got a ship there that he's got to tie up, it takes their whole crew to tie up one of those huge tankers. And they've got to use these huge things to lift up these pipes or hoses to connect to the ship. And so anyway, sometimes you can be sitting on that scale for 3 hours waiting for someone to scale you in so that you can go and load. So once that guy comes down, you pull off the scale, you make a U-turn, you go right out the gate you just came in. You gotta drive across the street, you gotta wait at a stoplight, drive across the street. Now there's another guard shack, because you had to cross a public road. So there's another guard shack for the other half of the refinery. You gotta show your TWIC card again, you gotta show your badge again, all that stuff. You gotta show all that stuff again for them to let you in the other part of the refinery where the actual loading rack is. So you go back to the loading rack, and it's gotta be the slowest pump you've ever had in your whole life. I mean, at Chevron, when we're loading by ourselves, because it's a double rack, so you can load 2 at a time, but when you're just loading one and you got the full pump all to yourself, that thing will load in 7 minutes of pump time. 7 minutes. The one up there loads in like 32 minutes of pump time. I mean, it's like more than 4 times the amount of time it takes to load at Chevron. Their pump is just so slow at ConocoPhillips. And so you get your load. Takes about 35 minutes to pull up, do all the stuff you got to do. So you got to drive back down, cross the same street again, wait for the guard to let you out from that side of the street, go across the street. You got to come back to the same stinking guard shack. You got to show them your badges again. All right, you got to do that. Hold it out the window for them. Then you go back and you pull back onto the scale, and hopefully the guy's still there, because it's been like 45 minutes by this time. So if he gets called on the radio that he has to go do something that's part of his other job, then he goes, and then you're just waiting for him to come back. I mean, I've had it to where I waited 3 hours to scale in and then an hour to scale out. Ridiculous. So anyway, I hate the way ConocoPhillips does it. So I was going to talk all about that. I'm glad I didn't just spend 7 minutes explaining it. But I was going to do that. But tonight, or last night, I guess I should say, everything was so stinking easy. So easy, man. So easy. I pull up. There's a young girl. I think I've seen her once or twice before. I don't know her name, but she checked me in pretty quick. There's actually another step now that there's COVID, because they got to have a guy. You got to park, and then you got to stand at the front of your truck for a guy to come up in a mask, and he's got to shoot you in the head with a laser to take your temperature. And so once he clears you, anyway, so the young girl was quick, efficient, everything went smooth. She went ahead and just waved me through because she had just seen my TWIC card and my badges, so she was bending the rules a little bit there, but in a common sense sort of way. So that was cool. But we went from, so then I went over there. The guy was already in the scale house, didn't have to wait for him at all, and it's one of the coolest dudes that works there. I mean, he's just super cool cat, the kind of guy that you could sit and talk with for hours just because he's freaking cool, he's smart, knows what he's talking about, he's willing to, hang out and just bullcrap with you, so he's cool. And so anyway, so he scaled me in quick. I actually wasted more time talking to him tonight than I did anything else, but went across the street, and the security guard, when I went back across the street to go load, was a lady that's been working there for I don't know how long. But I wish she was my grandma, because she's one of the sweetest ladies I've ever met. Her name's Barbara, and yeah, she's awesome. So it was nice seeing her. I don't go to this refinery very much, so anymore. So it's kind of nice when I go, get to see people I haven't seen in a long time, catch up with them. And so anyway, it was good seeing her. Went and loaded. The pump still sucked. The pump sucks, but you know, you get over it, whatever. Then I went back. Everything went quick. Everything went smooth. And then I show up down here an hour early, more than an hour early. So I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, man, I think I might just rest my head a little bit. Then I see these headlights pulling behind me, and I'm like, oh, one of the other employees is here early. They're gonna park and wait for the boss to get here, because that's happened to me a couple times where I get my hopes up and then find out it's just it's like a temp, you know. And sometimes temps show up like 45 minutes early, and you're like, oh, you're just a temp, you don't have a key. But yeah, today the dude pulls up, and he pulls right up to that gate. I hopped out of the truck so quick. I'm like, hey, what's going on? Good morning. You're here early. Let me help you with this gate. Pushed it open for him. I'm like so excited to get to offload 45 minutes early. So this load was good for me, because it's hard when I'm used to being in bed by now. So it's one of those days where it's like, anytime I have this load down here, it's like a love-hate relationship, because I love coming down here. It's a nice, I mean, look at where I'm driving right now, guys. I mean, it's just out in the fields. This is Manning Avenue. It's just a 55-mile-an-hour road all the way up to I-5, and then, you know, I-5 isn't too busy this time of morning. I just take it back up to Stockton. It's nice and relaxing. So, yeah, it's easy, man. It's easy. And so I'm just having a good morning. I'm having a good morning, in spite of, you know, it being later and my vampire ways, you know, wanting me to be asleep. And yesterday I woke up kind of early, because I thought if I had work, you know, after not having work on Sunday night or Monday night, I thought if I have work, it's just going to be like one or two loads. It's going to be a short night. It'll just be, you know, real quick and easy. So I don't need to rest up that much. I'll probably be home by like, you know, 3 a.m., 4 a.m. And it's not that hard to stay up to 3 or 4 a.m. But it's a little different when you got to stay up to like 10 a.m., 11 a.m. You know, I'll be up for 25 hours today by the time I get home. So anyway, yeah, that license plate holder is going to have to wait to get taken over to the shop, because I don't got time to go over there and take it to him today. But anyway, I'm rambling. When I start saying anyway about 4 or 5 times, that's when I know it's time to wrap up the video, man. I can't even finish a sentence without screwing it up. So hey, welcome to my YouTube channel. Thanks for tuning in. You want to hear someone stumble over their words for about 30 minutes? You came to the right spot. All right, we're really gonna wrap this up. Love you guys. Peace out. Talk to you guys Friday on the weekly recap. All right, love you. Peace out.